Hi everyone, Jackie here. Thanks for dialing in today. Sorry about the delay, we just had a little audio issue there in the background. So I'm just going to hand over now to Amanda Barrett from Orbit. She will be conducting the training today. Usual scenario, if you've got any questions, just pop them through the little chat box and we will address them probably at the end. If you could save your questions for the end, that'd be good. Thank you. Over to you, Amanda.
Thanks. Hi everybody, welcome. Thanks for turning up today. What we'll run through today, there's quite a bit to get through, so I'll try not to talk too fast and make it as simple as possible. But as Jackie said, if there are any questions, please do have those ready and we can discuss those at the end. So the first thing is, on screen we have a, it's called the Travel Portal. So we've built the Affinia Advisors Travel Portal based on specifications that we've been collecting in consultation with Jackie and others. And this is specifically designed to fulfill your travel needs. So the URL you'll see in the top of the screen is affiniaadvisors.orbitworldtravel.com. Sure, we can send this out to you after the session if you haven't got pen and paper with you today. To access the site, you will put in your business email. I'm logging in as a dummy traveller for today's session, so you would put your business email in here. And the first time you go to the site, go down and click on Forgot Password. That will then generate an email to your email address, the one that you've entered here, and it will provide the system-generated password. So it is a string of numbers, letters, and special characters. It's kind of gobbledygook. So you just need to copy and paste the entire thing, pop it into the password box, and then hit sign in. From there, we can show you how to change your password to be something far more memorable and easy for you to update in the future. So when you log in, you land on the home page here. It should welcome you, so it should have your name here to say welcome. And in the top right-hand corner, it should have your name there as well. So the first thing we'll do is I'll just quickly click on me. I'm Tess for today. And from here, you can see there's a change my password option. So quite simple, click on that, pop in the current password, which is the one you would have received on the email, and then put in whatever new password you would like and reconfirm that. Now just making sure the password is PCI compliant, so you need a minimum of 8 characters, 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, a numeric value, and a special character. So one of these special characters are permitted. And the system will require the password to be changed every 90 days. So that's all about online security. It is a bit of a pest. I understand that and appreciate it. I'm forever changing passwords here, but it's just something that needs to be done for us to be compliant to house your private information within our system. I'll go back to home and we'll quickly run through a few things on the home page. It's not a lot of exciting things here at the moment because you are brand new onto the system. So a little bit of on-screen navigation. In the top right-hand corner, we've got an icon here. And what that's going to tell you, the logged-in user, is if you have any ticket credits available to you. You've purchased a ticket, the trip was cancelled, and you couldn't refund it because they're generally non-refundable tickets, but you provided more than 24 hours notice, and we were able to hold that in credit for you to use on a later stage. So when you've logged into the system, you will see credits for yourself. If you are a travel arranger, so you book travel for other people, you will also see their credits. So in this example, I'm a travel arranger, but the only person that I book for is myself at the moment, and I'm the only one with a credit. So, you know, if there were 5 other people in your area that did have credits, you would see all of their credits. You can also see the credits down here as well, and then if you want to see a full list of everything available to you, you just click on View All and it will expand that out to a larger screen. The next icon is the DFAT, so Smart Traveller destination warnings. So you've got warnings and do not travel. Now these automatically update as soon as DFAT have changed the status. It's an RSS feed that comes through, and you can keep abreast of what's going on in certain countries. Then you have a contacts option. So this provides information on your team that are looking after you at Orbit World Travel. So you've got Ali as your lead consultant, Gemma, Rachel is the Sydney office manager, Ben Cochran is the client relationship manager, and then the eSolutions team, that's where I work. So there's 4 of us in that department. So if you do ever have any technical problems, you can't remember how to log in, or you're getting an error or something like that, you can come directly through to us via phone or email, and we're in the office between 8:30 and 6 p.m. every day. Okay, so I think the other things are all fairly basic. We've got policy information over here. This is linked through to domestic fare rules, the Orbit World contact sheet, so that will provide all the phone numbers, email addresses, etc. There is a system user guide, so once you're in the system, there's a full user guide with screenshots and step-by-step instructions. So I'll run through most of those things today, but you can refer to there. And over here, I've just kept that in as an example. I'm not sure, Jackie, if you would like me to upload we've loaded the TAL hotel program into your system, so I'm more than happy to put the list of all the hotels in the program in this section if you would like.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, these guys are actually paying for themselves, so it's really, I think, up to them to have the best selection to choose from.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
Alrighty. So the 2 key areas of the system that you'll use most frequently will be eTraveller and eRes. So eTraveller, for a travel arranger and a self-booker, this is where the profiles are housed. So if you are a self-booker and you don't book travel for anybody else, you don't need to book travel for anybody else, when you jump into this section, it'll just be your profile there. So it's got, your business unit or department, it'll have your membership details, your phone number, all of that kind of stuff. So as a travel arranger, this is my selection of people that I can book travel for. Jackie, do you mind if I just jumped into yours as an example?
Not at all. Go for it.
Okay, great. So I can click anywhere on this section and bring up Jackie's profile. And in here, you'll see we land on the general details. So it's things like name. And the name is per passport. So that's how we're making the reservation. So if you've put in your nickname in here, that's what's going to go on your airline tickets. And maybe domestically, it's not so important these days because most of the time no one's looking at your form of identification, but this same profile is used for your international travel to New Zealand and long haul, so we really need those details to be as per your passport. So anything with a little red asterisk is a mandatory field, and it needs to be completed before you can save the profile. So nothing out of the ordinary here. A title, a first name, middle name if you have it, surname, known as. So you can see here that Jackie's full name per her passport is Jacqueline, but she's known as Jackie. So people can use that. They can pop their nickname in the known as field. We do have a lot of travellers that are on Asian passports, so they put their Asian passport name in here, and then they'll put their little Aussie name in there. So easy, or if you're known by your middle name, you can put that in there as well. So a good way for us to be able to call you by your preferred name, but ensuring that we're booking your travel in your passport name. Gender, home airport, that would be where you travel from most frequently. We've uploaded all this information. It was collated, so there's a lot of information on people in there already. But I would recommend the first thing you do when you log into the system before you book travel is to go and check out your profile to make sure all the details and particulars are accurate. So we've got the department, so that's the business unit that you work for. Employee type, that will be defaulting for you. Really only the travel arrangers can choose something different here. So that's just defining your allowed travel policy. Most people within the group can do the same kinds of things, so there's no real differentiation there. Travel preferences, great section. This is where you can put in your meal preferences and seating preferences if you have them. So it's things like front, rear, and then window or aisle. You also have the ability to add in special notes. Might be, I don't know, that you like the aisle seat, like forward. You can put in there whatever you like. Can't guarantee that it's going to happen. However, particularly on an international flight, it's good to know this information so when the team are preceding you and doing things like that, they can actually try and accommodate your requirements. I had one the other day, someone put in there, I don't like cucumber, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do with that, but it's good to know. Other information here is if you do need some form of mobility, vision or hearing assistance, it's great to note those in your profile. Telephone numbers and contacts. So all important mobile. In this day and age, the mobile is the key form of communication with any of the suppliers, airlines, hotels and cars. Everyone's, SMS or sends messages to those. When you're traveling, hotels flooded, we need to make other arrangements, flights delayed, whatever it might be. That is the key form of communication along with the email address. And then you have a landline. You can put your work number in there as well. So you filled out your mobile, just click same as above and it will pre-populate the mobile there for you too. Home and fax numbers aren't mandatory, helpful, but not necessary. And then a work address. This is going to pre-populate every time to the Brisbane address at Milton. However, if you aren't situated there, please feel free to go and update that to your particular location. Postal address and home address, again, not mandatory. However, if you are somebody that often requires airport transfers, or if you're traveling on Emirates and they provide an airport transfer service, it's great to load those details in here so that we have them on file and we don't have to ask every single time. So good to have. And then emergency contact details. For obvious reasons, great pieces of information to have. Anytime you edit the profile, always click save. If something that's mandatory hasn't been completed, so if I just go up here and I'll take out that phone number, see how my save button disappears? It's not active because something that's mandatory isn't completed. As soon as I put that back in, I'll get my save button. So that's a really cool way to know that something's missing on the profile. Other things that you can store in here, passports. Jackie doesn't have any on file at the moment, but if we wanted to add in a passport, you've got a handy little button here. It says use profile name details. Obviously, that's only really useful if you filled out this section with the passport name. If you've got your nickname in the name field, it's going to populate the wrong information over here. So again, just reiterating how important it is to create your profile with your passport details. Country, so you would pop in, here I am assuming that you have an Australian passport. Any country, all the countries are in there. Pop in the passport number, and then date of birth, and place of issue, and expiry date. And once those three pieces of information have been entered, the save button would be active, and then you can save the passport on file. Now, the great thing with the passport is if it's in your profile, we have it on file immediately, and we can assess for international bookings whether you require a visa, and a lot of countries these days require a passport to be in the booking before we can issue a ticket. So great that we can have that on file. We'll also send you an email 8 months prior to the passport expiring to let you know that your passport is going to expire. So there's two reminders, one at 8 months and one at 7 months. And if you do have multiple passports, you can load both of them on file as well. Same works with visas. So if you did have, say, a multi-entry China visa or something like that, you can store those on file and we will have it in the booking. The reminders for the visa goes out 7 and 6 weeks prior to the visa expiring. Other pieces of information. Now, this is really key, is the credit cards. At this point in time, we don't have any credit card numbers for anybody. So before you make a booking, you're going to need to update your profile with a credit card. If there is no credit card in your profile, when you go to make a booking, it will come up and then say your profile needs updating. So please go in, check your profile, add in your credit cards and things like that, and then you're good to go. Memberships, so very important for our travellers. So you can add in any of your memberships. You've got airline, hotel, car, and then you've got all the various different airline names. Qantas, and you've got Virgin in there as well. So whatever it might be, all the international carriers, pop in the membership number. And in here, no spaces, and you don't need to prefix it with QF or VA for the airlines, just pop the number in. On Virgin and Qantas, we also give you the option of putting in your status, but that's not mandatory. Only the type and the program name and the number obviously are mandatory. You can put in a PIN and an expiry date. I'd probably recommend not doing that unless you would like us to be booking membership point tickets on your behalf. It's just that we tend to forget when they expire, and then you're going to have all these little notifications popping up. So it's not really essential unless you'd like us to book reward tickets on your behalf. And the last section, it will only really apply to travel arrangers. It's in this section here where we can allocate who you book travel for. So I do have a list of travel arrangers and their departments. So I'm going to make sure after this session that they're all set up, and I can email out to you what part of the businesses you've been given access to, and if it needs to be something different, then we can adjust that as we go along. Okay, so that is profiles. I'll just quickly show an arranger what happens when you need to make a new profile. So you click on eTraveller, and then you've got this option up here to add a new traveller. And then it brings up a blank form. And really, it's just a matter of filling out the boxes, the mandatory fields. And once that's completed, go down the bottom, your save button will be active, and you save the profile. It saves instantly, and it also syncs straight away to the online booking tool, eRes, and you'll be able to go and make a booking immediately for that person. Okay, so I'd normally ask if there are any questions here, but I think we're going to save those to the end. So I will jump now into making a reservation. So this is eRes is what we call our online booking tool. It's powered by Amadeus, and that is the same system that we use in the office here to book your long-haul tickets and anything else that we do offline. This is perfect. I've clicked on the eRes button, and it should just automatically go to the new site, and it will pop up in a new window. But it looks like I've got a pop-up blocker here, and I can see up in the top right-hand corner on Google Chrome that I do have a pop-up. So if this occurs for you, what you need to do is right-click on the pop-up and always allow pop-ups from this site. And then once you've done that on that particular browser, you should never have to do it again unless the browser gets updated, or you do new software on your laptop or your PC or what have you. So I'll then just click reopen pop-up, and it will launch our online tool. Brilliant. So the view I'm looking at here is a travel arranger's view. So for those of us that book travel for others, this is what will occur when you log in, and you will land on the Arranger tab. If you aren't an arranger, you're simply booking for yourself, your screen will land here on the book. So you can just go straight away in and start searching for your flight. The default screen is for air, but if you didn't have flights that you needed, you're driving somewhere and you just need to book accommodation, you can change that to a hotel search, or you can book your car as well. So the default is an air search. So that's the screen for people that are self-booking. For travel arrangers, you'll have your list of travellers here, and then you can search through your list. And once you've selected, you've found the person that you want to book for, it's a simple matter of clicking the plus and arrow key into the My Selection, and then you can start making a booking for that person. Okay, I think I'm actually going to do a booking for myself, because then I can show you how to use the credit. So I'll just pop over here, and I'll start doing a booking for me. Let's go. You can see here the home airport is pre-populated, which is really cool. And again, if I didn't want to fly from Brisbane, so I'm already somewhere else, or happen to be down the Gold Coast and I want to fly from there, it's just a matter of clearing that field and starting to type the new location. We can do a round trip, a one-way, or a multi-destination. Now, a multi-destination is where you're traveling, say, Brisbane-Sydney, Sydney-Melbourne, Melbourne-Perth, and then you can add up to 6 sectors, right? So a maximum of 6 sectors for your multi-destination. That's a pretty big trip, and I've rarely found anybody that needed more, but hey, you never know. On this occasion, we'll just do a return or a round trip. So I'm going to go from Brisbane to Sydney. Just start typing the name of the airport where you'd like to go to, and it'll bring up a similar name list. For Sydney, be careful. Obviously, the first one that pops up is Sydney Kingsford Smith in Australia, but there also is a Sydney in Canada, so just be a bit careful with that. With the date, we've got the outbound date. I'm going to do something in April. Might stay away for a couple of days. Now, I'm not sure if you've used a corporate online booking tool before, but it's a little bit different to how Qantas and Virgin work. So Qantas and Virgin, you're going to their website and they're going to show you flights for the whole day. With a corporate tool, we're pulling in Qantas, Virgin, Jetstar, and any other airline that flies between the 2 cities. So there's a lot of information coming into here. So you do need to pinpoint the time of day you'd like to travel. So if I left it as 8 o'clock, that's the default, but I really wanted to travel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm not going to see flights on this search. So I need to manipulate it to be targeting what I'm specifically after. So for example, I would like to travel at noon, 12 noon. I'm outbound and I want to come home at 10 o'clock. Now, the system by default is going to search 2 hours before and after either of those or both of those times. I can widen it and I can do 9 hours before and after, 4 hours, whatever you need to do, or you can drop it right down to an hour either side. Just depends on how wide or small a window you want to look at. On the east coast of Australia, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, there's lots of flights. They run every 15 to 30 minutes. So doing an 8-hour search either side, so like a 16 hours, you're going to get way too much information and the screen won't be able to display it all. So I would always, on the East Coast, probably go a maximum of 3 hours if you really have no idea when you want to be there. But the default of 2 or even targeting, getting it down to 1 is perfect. With somewhere like Darwin or Perth, potentially Adelaide, Canberra, where there's less frequent flights, yeah, sure thing, widen the range and then you're going to see a full day of flights. It's all just a matter of playing around with it a little bit. So I'm going to leave that as a 2-hour search. The direct itinerary only box is ticked by default, so it's going to offer me only direct flights between Brisbane and Sydney, which is perfect. I don't really want to go on a milk run. But if I was going, say, Brisbane to Broome, I'd want to have a look at all the options available to me because I know there are no direct flights to Broome. So if I left that tick, I'm not going to get any options. Unticking it, I'm going to get everything, either via Darwin, via Alice Springs, via Perth, all those combinations. So that can sometimes be a little trap for new players, so just something to be aware of there. And the reasons for travel, or the trip reasons, these are Affinia-specific trip reasons, so they've been provided to us, so you select the most appropriate one for your journey. And then once the criteria is in there, click search, And the system will go off now and start looking for the flights that fit into that search radius. While it's doing that, you've got a little bit of information up here on some of the Australian domestic carriers about ticket prices, baggage inclusions and things like that. And then you can see here the fares start coming through. So everything will come through in departure time order. So it's searching from 10 o'clock through to 1 in the afternoon there. So we've got Virgin Australia, Qantas, and some Jetstar options. It will tell you the departure time, the arrival time, the carrier and flight number, and the duration of the journey. You've got all the different fares available to you, and what will happen here, each column will show you the cheapest fare applicable to that column. So we've tried to title the columns in the most, descriptive way, but we do have to fit all the airlines into different categories. So in here, in seat and bag, if you click on the header, you'll see that we've got Qantas Ready Deal, Virgin Getaway, Jetstar Starter, and the RexNet and RexNet Plus fares, and Air North if you're over in WA. So you can actually get an idea of what kind of fare is available in that column, and we've given you a brief rundown of the rules. So how it works is the cheaper fares come in the first lot of buckets, and as you go through the buckets or the columns, the fares get dearer and more flexible. So we've got seat and bag, semi-flexible, flexible, and business class. And if the airline doesn't offer one of those fare types, like here at Qantas, you don't see something in the semi-flex, that means we haven't categorized, or they don't have a fare that's available in that column. Okay? The other thing you'll notice, everything is a green tick. The way that we've set the site up is that you guys have free reign to book whatever you need to book based on the trip that you're doing. You do have access to TAL airline deals. So they have a deal with Virgin Australia, and this little, I call it a Greek Parthenon icon, it tells you that there are corporate fares. So you're getting the TAL business discount on these prices. So if you were to compare this fare on this flight with the Virgin website, you would see that you're getting an upfront discount, which is a great thing. So again, a really good reason to be booking through the system, because you're getting a discount at point of sale. Okay, so to book a flight, you simply select whatever flight it is that you want to take and the fare, and you click on that. So now it brings in the return. So you can see up here, I've chosen the 12.05 on Qantas at $149. So I'm doing a cheaper fare on the outbound, but I do need some kind of flexibility on the return. So I want to come home at 9 o'clock. And on this occasion, the Virgin flight is a better price, and that's a great time. So I'm going to take the Virgin flight. So I've got my Qantas flight outbound, my Virgin flight on the return. At this point, if I realise I clicked on the wrong flight or I want to change my price selection, I can just click back here, view all details, and it will bring up the flights again. You can then change your flight if you like, and it's still in the process of formatting your itinerary. If you need to start the whole thing again, you can either modify the search here and click search again, or go all the way back to the very beginning. Now, I had a dummy credit in there. Well, I say dummy, but I had a little, let's go back to the home portal. I had a little credit for myself. So I've got a Qantas booking, and it's worth $286. On this trip, I'm actually flying on Qantas, and my new ticket is $610. So it makes sense that I'd try and use that credit of $286 towards this ticket, so then it's not costing the business as much. I'm already using something I've paid for. So there's two places that you can see these credits. Well, there's actually three. So you can see them on the home page of the portal. And then once you get into the online tool, a little pop-up here, a little link, will tell you if you have any available. And I can see that I've got one Qantas credit. Okay, so at this point, it's information. So if you are deliberating between going on Virgin or Qantas, and you can see you've got a credit, that may help you make a decision which flight to go on, and it's a great way to utilise tickets that you've already paid for and, keep that budget under control. So I've made my decision. I know I've got a credit. I'm going to book Qantas, and I click on book and I move forward in the itinerary. So now I'm in the summary. So if I only wanted to book a flight, I could go through and agree to the purchase conditions here and finalise the trip. However, I do actually need a hotel and a car. So at this point, I can click on either of those, whichever I want to book. I'll start with the car first. You can see here it pre-populates, so it knows that I'm flying into Sydney the day I'm going in and when I'm leaving. If you didn't want to do airport to airport, you can manipulate the location and do, say, airport, and then, if you're driving up to Newcastle and you wanted to drop it back in the city, you can manipulate it to do that. I'm just going to do an airport to airport. The big thing that I always ask people to check here is it's picking up that I'm arriving at 2. Well, I actually land at 1:40. Now, 20 minutes between landing and getting to the car maybe is quite good, but I always like to have the car ready the moment I arrive. So in this scenario, I'd actually change it to 1:45 so that I know, even if the flight's a bit early or late, the airline knows I'm arriving at that time, and that is when I expect my vehicle to be available. If I'd left it at 2 o'clock, there's every chance on this particular day, knowing my personal luck, that the car wouldn't be available when I landed and at 1:40, and I've done carry-on luggage, and I'm at the car company at 13:42, and then they say, no, the car's not ready, you have to wait till 2 o'clock. So to try and avoid that frustration, I always manipulate it so that it is as close to the arrival time as possible. Okay, so once you've got these details in here, you click search. And then it will bring up our options. So we have quite a few here for you. You've got Avis and Hertz, and then you can see some other options down the bottom. So we're really targeting Avis and Hertz. We've put in here our company discount rates. So you're actually, it's generally better than just normal public rates, which is quite good. It provides you with the information of the vehicle size, what kind of transmission you're getting. You can see the daily rate and an estimated total. Now, there is always a difference between the daily rate and the actual total. The total will include things like airport taxes and your CDW and stuff like that. So if you really want to know the breakdown of what it is, you can click on there and it will run through the different items. Okay, but that's a much better indication of what the cost of the vehicle is going to be. If you went through some road tolls or you didn't fill the tank up when you returned the vehicle, obviously there's going to be a difference between this price and the actual return vehicle price. So just bear those things in mind. So I'm going to go with an intermediate 2-door automatic transmission. Now, if I wanted to have a look at the car, the physical car that falls into that category, I just click on this hyperlink and I can see that Hertz typically have a Hyundai Elantra or similar. So they won't guarantee a particular vehicle, but it's telling you the type of car to give you an indication of the size that you can expect of a model of vehicle. So I'd like to choose that one. I click on the bullet point, it highlights what I'm after, scroll down to the bottom and add to trip plan. So what will happen now is it'll take me back to my trip summary. So I'm in my shopping basket and I have my flights and I have my car hire. Brilliant. So hotel works exactly the same. Click add hotel. Pre-populate, so it knows I'm flying into Sydney. I arrive on the 12th and depart on the 14th. If I wanted to, I could just go and hit search. I can change the search radius down. I'm only interested in hotels within 10 kilometres of Sydney. And I can put in a hotel name if I want to target a specific hotel. So if I put in the Hilton, the Mantra, whatever it may be. One thing I will give you a tip on here is I tend to do less is best in these fields. So if it's the Holiday Inn Potts Point, don't put the Potts Point in, just go Holiday Inn. and that way you're going to get anything with holiday in the title, and you get a better selection. If you are very, very specific, you may have spelt it slightly wrong and it may not return a result. So that's why I always go less is best. But I'll show you what it does if you just click search. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we have uploaded TAL's hotel program and the hotels that they have negotiated rates at. So to start with, the system will indicate with this little icon here and a green tick. So anything that's got the hotel or the little house, and the green tick means it's a TAL property. And then anything when you scroll down that doesn't, it's just any other hotel in that city. So we're not trying to preference anything for you. We're just trying to make it clear that those hotels may have a negotiated rate attached to them. So you can actually see here on this the Grace Hotel, Affinia Advisors rate, that's the TAL rate. So it's, could be worth your while booking that. So in this one here, again, it's got Affinia Advisor and our rates there. So I don't want you to think that we're trying to bias anything, but they're available to you, and some of the rates are really good. Okay, so a couple of things here. I just did a straight city search, Sydney City, and I can sort the results. So I can sort by price, proximity to the city centre, by hotel name, hotel chain, etc. So I've got a few options there. I can also search by a street address. So you know how I put the location as, well, it defaulted to Sydney. If I actually change that to, I don't know, 100 George Street. There is a George Street in Sydney, I hope. Sydney, yeah, cool, alrighty. So if I go for here, 100 George Street, and then I search, the initial results display won't change, but what you do have the option of doing is, these are all in price order, so you actually have the option of searching by proximity to the street address. So now you can see that the Park Hyatt Sydney, it's right at that address. We're pinpointing it. So is the Holiday Inn Old Sydney. This property here is 100 metres from there, 200 metres. So it's a really good way if you're trying to be in a specific area and you don't know the city, say, to target properties there. You can also look at a map view. So we've got a Bing map here of Sydney, and all the hotels pop up as little flags. So if I just scroll out there, this red balloon is the address I searched for, and then you can see all the hotels in and around. So when you hover over that, it brings up the hotel and you can see the rate and everything like that. So you can select and book from here, or you can do it from your detailed view. So there's quite a few different ways for you to search. I don't think I'm going to book something that's $780. So let's go. Actually, I do want to do a TAL preferred. So let's just go here. Company preference. Okay. Let me try. We'll just go with the Radisson. Okay, so to choose a property, you click on select. And you can see here, you've got an Affinia Advisors rate. So it's telling you about the room, what's available in it, what size room, bed type, all that kind of stuff. The price per night, the estimated total. And on this occasion, it looks like the price varies from one night to another. So you can click on there and have a look. And here we've got the first night is $260 and the second night is $252. So they're not charging you the dearest rate for both nights. You're actually going to be able to take advantage of the price drop during your stay. It also tells you in here the cancellation policy and check-in, check-out, all that kind of stuff. So you've got a lot of booking information there. Booking conditions, it is guaranteed. So what's going to happen is anything that says guarantee there means they're going to hold the reservation as guaranteed, and provided you turn up inside the cancellation policy on the day. You know, that'll just go to whatever card you choose to when you check out. If you don't turn up, the card that's in your eTraveller profile will be used to charge the cancellation fee too. Now, if you book something and then you can't stay there, provided you cancel outside the cancellation policy, there will be no charge to you. So that's why it's called a guarantee. Some hotels like Novotel, they have properties where there's deposits required or advanced purchase rates. Now that I've done that, I'm not really sure if we block that for you guys. Sometimes we block those rates for companies based on the company request so that you don't get caught booking non-refundable room types. I'll have a quick squeeze here. Oh, didn't bring it up. Okay, let's go with that one. Okay, oh, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to show you. So see how this says deposit? When you hover over it, it's basically telling you that it's, you know, as soon as we book this, as soon as we say confirm on this reservation, they're actually going to charge the card. So if you did need to cancel that booking, you wouldn't get a refund. It is a cheaper rate because you're paying for it in advance. So always be really conscious of that. If you know the trips are definite and they have an early bird or a deposit rate that is quite competitive, by all means book them. But if it's a trip where you think there is a chance that it's going to cancel, I'd steer clear of deposit or non-refundable rates. In those scenarios, you always want to book something that's a guarantee or a hold, because then you have the flexibility of cancelling provided it's outside the cancellation policy. So all the conditions and cancellation policy are fully available within this screen. So some other things here that we didn't have on the other hotel is, like when I hover over the little coffee cup, great, it tells me that breakfast is included. On this one here, we can clearly see no breakfasts are included. So there's quite a bit of information and advantage of having a scroll through. Now, I'm going to book one of these, but I'm going to definitely select something that's a guarantee. I'm going to do this one here. This standard king room at $319. So once I've made my selection, it's just a matter of clicking the book button. And now I'm back to my shopping basket. So I have my flights, my hotel, and my car. So my itinerary is almost complete. Now, one thing I didn't point out is you can actually pre-seat yourself on some of the carriers. Domestically, on Virgin and Qantas, there's no charge for that. On some of the international options, like Cross to New Zealand, they may offer it, but there may be a charge associated. So just bear that in mind. When you click on there, it actually brings up the aircraft. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with this from doing airport check-ins and what have you. Grey is saying it's occupied or unavailable to you to book. If you are a high status member, say gold, platinum, etc., the front of the aircraft would be generally available for you to book from. But as my test traveller doesn't have any status, we're at the back of the bus and they kind of come in around seat 19. So anything that's blue, I can select. So it's a simple matter of clicking on which seat I'm after and going save. Then what will happen, it will refresh and it will pop in my seat there. Now, I've shown you how to do that, but I will say if you are a high status, so if you're silver, gold, platinum, higher, I wouldn't bother doing that. It's just an extra step, and the airline pre-seats you from your membership. So you'll get a better option if the airline does that from your membership. So it's for like myself, in this example, I don't have a status, so if I wait till the check-in opens, I might not get a seat I like, so I'm going to do it at this point in time. Okay, so from here, you have the option of deleting the trip. If you get this far through it and then find out it's not going ahead or what have you, you can delete it. No commitment, no charges to the card or anything like that. But if you would like to finalise the trip, you agree to the purchase conditions and click Finalise. From here, you have the option of putting in a trip name. Now, it's not a mandatory field, so, you could put, you have a trip reason, so you know that you've got internal meetings, but you might want to say, is it the executive leadership team, or is it, staff training, whatever it might be, and that's for your reference. It's not reportable, and it doesn't go anywhere else but in this system. Over here, you have the option of providing a note to the agent, so that will go through to Ali. So some of the most common things in here is if you needed excess baggage, so you've got one piece of carry-on or check-in, but you know you need to take a whole stack of brochures or something else, and you've got 30 kilos and you'd like it to be paid for and organised, so you can pop in information like that. Or it is the Adele concert and Sydney is packed, you cannot find accommodation for love nor money. You've booked your flights, your car hire, pop a note in there and ask the team to help you source some accommodation. So, tell them the hotel you're after or the price range, whatever it might be, and they can help you out. Note to car company. So, you can put in there GPS required, I'd really like a red car, those kinds of things. It's a note to the car company and we can't guarantee that they're actually going to action on that. If you do need a GPS, I would add it into the note to agent, and then someone at Orbit World Travel is physically going to confirm a GPS for you. If you pop it in here, it's going to the car company, and while 99% of the time they read these remarks and they action them, it can get missed. So to avoid it being missed, pop it in there, GPS required. Otherwise, you can use your phone in the car. Okay, so now we have here asking me for a method of payment. Now, I've got my credit card loaded in my profile, so it knows what my form of payment is, and it's saying to me, you've got an unused ticket. Do you want to use that? So if I leave it as no ticket, it's going to go onto my credit card, and I'm purchasing a brand new fare, and I'll still have that credit sitting there waiting to be used. If I want to use the credit, I click this option. I click the credit that I'm after, and when I go down here and hit confirm, that will go through to Orbit, and it will have a new booking created, and it will hit a queue at Orbit saying, we've got this new Qantas booking for Test Traveller, and they would like to use their $286 credit towards payment. So that when you receive the invoice, you'll have the additional payment will be the difference between these two. So credit used, no loss of money to Affinia, and a really efficient way of using up those credits. Just on the credit, they are valid for 12 months from the date of original purchase. So you can see here that this one expires 11 January next year. So if my credit was worth, let's exaggerate here, $1,800, and the cost of my new flight is $600, and I have almost a year to use my $1,800 credit, I'd go no ticket at this stage, because I'm not getting value for money out of the credit. It's worth $1,800, my ticket's worth $600. So that's a poor use of a credit. If it was expiring tomorrow and I needed to use it, yes, sure thing, because otherwise it's just going to go to waste. But if you have time, always make sure the new ticket and the credit are either similar price or the new ticket is more than the credit, and that's the best use of a credit. Okay, if I had a frequent flyer number in my eTraveller profile, it would automatically populate through here. But if you haven't updated your profile, and I strongly urge you to do that, you do have the option of manually typing it in. And it will go into this booking only though. So if you don't put it in your eTraveller profile, you'll need to add it here every single time. And if you forget, it won't go, there's no record of it, so it won't be in your booking. You'll miss out on your frequent flyer points and status points, all that kind of stuff. So I would always put it in my eTraveller profile, and it will appear here for you every single time. And at this point, I can, I will put a little note up there. Booking only, please avoid and cancel. Okay. Click confirm, and this will come up with a fare adjustment. So we've got the airline credit card fee, so it's adding that on at the end, and then I click confirm, and I should get a confirmed reservation. Now the system can time out, and it will time out. It's a live inventory system. So again, I'll use the concert ticket analogy. So when you're going onto Ticketek or Ticketmaster and you're trying to buy tickets, it will say you, when you grab them, it will say you've got 8 minutes to purchase these, otherwise you'll miss out. It's the same with this system. You have between 12 and 15 minutes, but in that time, until you've clicked confirm, there's no guarantee that you have the items at that price. So, you know, if it's the day before travel and, you know, availability is changing really quickly, there is a chance that somebody else might have snagged those seats at that price, and then you'll get an error saying the fare is no longer available. So you'll need to start your booking again. Most of the time, it comes through as a confirmed reservation. So just be aware that if you start your booking, get sidetracked, pick up the phone or get distracted or what have you, and it is longer than, you know, a few minutes, 12 to 15, I would close that session and I would start again, because availability is probably gone or changed and you're just going to get some errors. So it's always best to start fresh. Okay, so here we have a confirmed booking. Status is confirmed. I've got my booking reference number and all the bits and bobs that I purchased. That now generates to Orbit. It hits our robot and the ticket is issued, and it will drop into the back office system, and your itinerary and your invoice will be generated. So it all happens fairly quick, bang, bang, bang. At this point, we can say that the booking is successfully paid for. If tomorrow something happened and you needed to change your itinerary, you contact Ali at the consulting team directly, either by phone or email, to make those changes. So you could change your car or hotel through ERES if you wanted to. Say a colleague's going to pick you up from the airport and you no longer need the car hire. So you can go and search for your trip under review. And because I only have one trip, it's easy to find. It's right there. I'll click on options and I'll display my booking. So I no longer need the car hire, so I can go down here and I can go remove. So you can do that kind of thing with car and hotel, but you that remove option there would not normally be available on the flights once it's ticketed. So at this point in time, the robot hasn't ticketed it, but as soon as a ticket is issued against that, that remove is not there, and you need to contact Orbit to make any of those changes. But hotels and cars, you can change via the system if you so choose to. I mean, if you've got to change the flight, the hotel, and the car, just send it all through, and Ali will do that rather than you doing a portion of it and Ali doing the other portion. Okay, so I'll just now quickly jump back to the Travel Arranger tab and so show some of the arrangers. If you wanted to bring up a booking that you've made for somebody else, you do that through View and Search. So a traveller uses Review to search for their bookings, and the Travel Arranger uses View and Search. So in here, you'd pop in, say, the last name and go search. Now, because I am the traveller, I can only look for it under Review. Sorry, I might have confused you there. But that is how a Travel Arranger would look for a trip. You just pop in the name, and then you've got a calendar view, so it puts the itinerary in a calendar, or a table view, and your trip for that traveller would appear here. But because I am the traveller, I can only look at it through Review. Okay, So that is, smash that out, and we've got 1 minute to go. That's pretty much everything on the system. When you're finished, always log out. Click on the log out button to shut it down, because that just closes the session, and the next time you go there, you'll have a far better experience. Why is it not logging out? Okay, now it's going to make a liar of me. All right, we'll just pretend that's not happening. I think it's my internet. I've been having troubles with it all day. Okay, so I'll open it up to everybody now. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Amanda. That was amazing. I'm just going to unmute everyone. We do have one question so far from Kim, wanting to know, does the balance credit amount not carry over to be used at a later date? Well, I think you did answer that. It does carry over, doesn't it? Hello, Amanda, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Amanda? Can anyone hear me?
I can.
Who have I got there?
That's Sash.
Hello, Sasha. Looks like it's just us. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, let me just take the screen back. Amanda, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Amanda? Amanda, can you hear me? Sorry, guys. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Is that still you, Sasha?
Still me.
I don't know what I've lost. I seem to have lost the audio from Amanda. Sorry, guys. What a nuisance. Okay, I won't waste any more of your time. Amanda, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I will get these questions answered to you guys in an email that will follow. Thank you all for your time, if you can hear me.
Thanks, Jackie.
Technology. You've got to love it, don't you? All right, well, I'll end the webinar. Thanks, everyone. Bye.